for a moment due to noise. Happened where yeah, that's right. And it'll be underwater. You know, I'm seeing quite a few people on the RideStar forum and some other e-bike forums where quite a few people seem to be breaking their planetary gears, and there's a reason for it. The RideStar Q20 looks tough as heck, but truth be told, in my opinion, it's a paper tiger. Some people tell you that they think it's tough and it's durable, and I disagree. And my evidence being, I'm seeing more and more people with these broken planetary gears. Well, I know exactly what's going on, and that comes from my experience off-roading. And a long time ago, the first time that I broke an axle on my Jeep, and coincidentally, the only time I ever broke an axle on my Jeep, because after that, I learned. And so I'm going to share with you what's going on, why it is that people are breaking these gears, and what you can do to avoid breaking them in the future. So let's talk about it. So we're going to use this 3D printing spool to stand in as our tire on the Q20. Now you saw me come off of this curb, drop, and roll out. There's a technique that I'm practicing, and I'm going to explain to you why it is that people are breaking their planetary gears. So what happens is when you roll forward and you're under load, this tire is, and I'm just going to use some artificial numbers for the point of demonstration. This tire is rolling, we'll say at 10 miles an hour, and that is under load, carrying your weight, the weight of the bike, the resistance against the ground, trying to move you forward. The moment it drops off of this curb into the air, it now has no resistance. And because there is no resistance, this tire moves from, say, 10 miles an hour to 30 miles an hour. And this is similar to a fighter pilot in the plane, just cruising along, 200-pound pilot, they weigh 200 pounds. The moment they yank back on that stick to, say, 4 Gs, they're now 800 pounds. So what happens is that tire rolling along with this wheel, it suddenly goes to 30 miles an hour because it's freewheeling in the air. And because you don't let off of the throttle, the moment it hits the ground, it suddenly makes contact. And this contact brings everything to a momentary slamming stop. So that 200 pounds went to 800 pounds under 4 Gs. Well, same concept as what's happening to your planetary gears. And as a result, you're stressing them and eventually they will fail. Now, the way you want to do this, and I learned this, like I said, back a long time ago in the off-roading days in my Jeep. First time I had broken axle, and the only time was because I had come off, didn't get off the throttle like I needed to. The moment it touched down, bam, it blew the axle. So if you will, when you're approaching, get off of your throttle so that there's no load, and then let it drop, and then let it settle, because there's that momentary stop and then it rolls. Let it do that and then ease into the throttle. You won't be breaking your planetary gears. Now, I don't want to scare anybody about breaking your gears. What I'm saying is this kind of a drop, yes, employ the technique. Going down the road, you happen to go over a pothole, we're not worried about that. It's this drop where it can actually really build up that speed, spin, and then have an impact. So there you have it. I hope this allows you to avoid breaking your planetary gears on your Q20. And if you like what you're seeing here, consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell. Until next time, I wish you, safe riding, keep the rubber side down.